Let's be patient. Teacher Linda is reconnecting.
Teacher Linda, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm giving an opportunity to each one of us to tell me something you know about fractions. I'm giving just a few of us, someone who is ready to tell us about place values. Sorry, we're going to look at place values this time around. The fractions will be for another time. We shall discuss about them also, but let us concentrate on place values, and other things about that. I'm giving an opportunity to each one of some two of us, someone who is ready. Chris, are you ready? Charlotte, are you ready? Nasha, can you tell me something?
Yes.
Yeah, someone ready can tell me something briefly about place values, because that's our interest today.
Place values are where the numbers belong.
Thank you so much for your idea, Babas. I'm glad. Yes, Kirsten, your hand is also up. Can you tell me something?
Yes. A place value is a position of a digit in a given number.
I beg your pardon?
Place value is a position of a digit in a given number.
Wow, that is very, very good. Place value is the place or the position of a digit in a given number. Actually, the name of that position is the place value. Thank you so much. I'm very glad. That answer is very good. So that is our interest today. Then we are going to also look at the values. Is there any other person with an idea about place values still before we can move on?
They are teaching people mathematics. So you're also attending.
What?
So today we are looking at the place values, and I'm going to share my screen and briefly just to go through just that simple work. One thing we should note, place value is
You are following.
a place value of a number refers to the name of that place where that number is located, where that digit is located. That's what we call the place value, the name of that position, like she has shared with us. So when they talk about place value, they want you to just give the name of that place where that number is. So we are going to look at some examples here. We are going to look at some examples and learn more about place values. And I hope by the time we complete this, by the time we are done with this, we are done with this engagement, everyone will be in position to tell something about the place values, the values, because we are going to look at all that. Because we are going to look at all that, and I know we are going to have some ideas about them. I'm going to share my screen now. I'm going to share my screen with everyone, but I request you only follow the instructions as I'll be telling them to you, and we are only going to do something on the screen if we are asked to do it. So just get ready to see my screen. Just be ready to meet my screen and interact with it. So just be ready. Those ones who have just joined us, Teacher Linda, we're having mathematics right now we're having mathematics for primary 4. Feel free to ask, feel free to say anything, feel free to ask a question where you need help. Just feel free to interact with anything. From our idea, we've got that Mbabas has shared with us and some other colleagues of ours, Kirsten and others. They've told us that the place value refers to a place where a number is. And we have an example here. And we have an example here. Let us see how best can we give place values. The first step, after knowing that it refers to the place where the number is located or where the digit is in a given number. So what we do, you come and give place values. When we are giving place values, we start from the right hand. And from your right, you will have ones, and it is represented by an O. Then we go to tens, represented by a T. We go to hundreds, represented by H. Then thousands, represented by TH. 10,000s, represented by T, T, H. And we can keep on increasing. Actually, as the number keeps on growing, we also move to another level of place value. We start from ones, but as you keep on moving, because just imagine if you are given 50 shillings and now mommy gives you 500 shillings, you realize that the two are not equal. So as the number keeps on growing, also the place value changes. That is when we start from our right hand. Still, we start from our right hand, moving towards another point. So from here, from our, just that brief explanation, who can give us the place value of 5? Who can tell us the place value of 5? Let me see, Nasha's hand is already up. Yes, Nasha?
1.
Good. So the place value of 5 is ones. So we put it there. So still from that brief explanation, who can tell us the place value of 4? Esther? Yes, Esther, I can't hear you well.
Tens.
Tens. Good. Thank you so much. So when we are giving place values, another thing we should note, we add their letter S on each of these words as we are giving. We are listing them down. We add their letter S. Then the next place value here, the place value of the next 4. Yes, Tessie, your hand is up.
Hundreds.
Hundreds, good. So we spell it as HUNDRED and S. You forget S, that means you're not referring to hundreds as a value. Then what else? The next place value. Someone to give us the next place value. Let me see. Yes, El Shaba, can you give us?
Thousands.
Thousands, good. And this is how we spell it. Everyone take note of the spelling. Spell it as THOUSAN. And who can give us the last plus value here? From thousands, what do we go to? Yes, Chris, your hand is already up. Can you give me the answer?
10,000.
Louder than that?
10,000.
Good, 10,000. So we write 10, TEN, then we add on thousands, and that's how it is written. So that is briefly about place values, and I hope each one of us can now give place values of different digits. There, I just wanted us to do just a brief revision about it, because I know we've seen this work and we've been doing it. Then let us also move to something here. Let us also do something here, because this is what we've looked at, the place values, and the first step is to draw the place value table. After drawing the place value table, you give each digit its place value. Starting from the right, the first digit is always on the right hand, and it is under the place value of ones. Regardless of how many digits you have, the first digit on the right will always be under the ones place value. And we've said that here, after giving the place values in the table, then you can write them fully. And we have 5 under ones, we have T to represent tens, and that's how it is written. Take note of the spellings. We have hundreds, and that's how it is written. Take note also of the spellings. We have thousands, and that's how it can be written. And we also have 10,000. So I would like to give an opportunity to someone who can guess the next place value after 10,000. Let me see whether someone's hand is up. Yes, Esther, can you tell me?
100,000.
I beg your pardon, please.
100,000.
100,000. Thank you so much. So as you keep on going, it keeps on increasing. So from 10,000, you go to 100,000, and we can also move to another. And who can guess the other one? Who can guess after 100,000? What could be the next place value? Jordan, thank you for joining us. We are looking at place values, and I will share more in the group. I'll put the work in the group. Someone to guess the next place value? After 100,000, Maria, can you guess? Okay, so from 100,000, you go to millions, you again go to 10 millions, like that. But our interest in primary 4 is 10,000 and 100,000. So this is all about the place values of whole numbers, how we do them, how we give place values to various numbers. So here, I want us also to look at the values. I want us also to look at the values of whole numbers. When they talk about values, what do they mean? Someone to tell us. When they talk about values. Nasha, can you guess? Stacy, can you guess? If they talk about values. Yes, Esther's hand is already up. Yes, Esther.
They mean when they want you to multiply the number with the digit with its place value.
Good. So the moment they tell you about, the moment they give you something about values, they want you to multiply the digit by its place value. But this time round, don't multiply maybe a digit that is 5 times the word ones. You write the digit to stand for that place value. Okay, let us see how best we can do it. So when you're finding value of a number, take note. I want someone to analyze that thing first. Look at So that's how we can get the value of numbers. We say that value equals digit times place value. So when you have, let us look at an example here. and we see how we can apply that. Let us see an example here. We have an example here. The first example, find the value of each digit in 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. We are going to learn how to read these big numbers and how to write them in words in our other lesson. Let us not force it now. So when you're looking at finding the value of each digit, what we do, still draw the place value table. After drawing the place value table, you give each digit a place value. Yes? So when you give each digit a place value, now the next step is to get the value. You will multiply the digit by its place value. Like here we have 5 and its place value is 1s. So we shall multiply 5 by its place value. But we don't write the word 1s. So this is how we do it. We shall multiply 5 by its place value. So we shall say 5 times 1, its place value, giving us 5. Because each number times 1, you get that very number. So I want someone to tell me what could be the value of 4 now. How can we get the value of 4? Yes, Nasha?
By multiplying 4 times 10.
Wow. So for us to get the value of 4, we shall multiply 4 times 10, and it will give us answer 40. So when we move to the next 4, to get the answer of this next 4 here, we shall multiply 4 times its place value, which is 100. The place value is 100, so we shall multiply by 100 to get 400. So who can guess, how can we get the place value of 3? Sorry, the value of 3. Yes, Chris, your hand is already up. Chris, can you tell us?
3 times 1,000.
Good. How many zeros does 1,000 have?
3,000. 3 zeros.
3 zeros, good. So we multiply 3 times 1,000, and that's how it will be. We shall get 3,000. Now, how can we get the value of 2? How can we get the value of 2? Let me see someone's hand which is already up. Abigail, thank you for joining. Let me see. There is someone who has not told me anything. Stacy, can you tell me something? Stacy, I'm waiting for your response. Or someone who can help Stacy.
You multiply 10,000 times 2.
Good. How many zeros does 10,000 have?
4.
Wow. So this is how it will be. We shall set 2 times 10,000, giving us 20,000. So this is how we can get the values of whole numbers. And let us also see another example here. Find the value of each digit in 3408. Find the value of each digit in 3408. We are going to, don't mind about how we read these numbers, but we are going to learn how to read them. And I believe we shall be super by that time when we learn how to read them all. So when we are finding the value of each digit in 3408, the first thing we do is to draw the place value table, and it's there. Give each digit its place value. After doing that, now we can get the value of each digit. So I want to start with someone here, the value of 8. Value of 8, you tell me and you also tell me the answer. Abigail, can you tell me something? Abigail, yes, your hand is up. Speak a little bit louder if you're speaking.
The place value of 8 is 1.
Yes, the place value of 8 is ones. That one we've known, thank you. But how can we get its value now?
Multiply 8 times 1.
Good, thank you so much. So for us to get the value of 8, we shall say 8 times 1 to give us 8. Then the place value of 0, we shall multiply 0 by its place, because the place value of 0 is tens. So the value will be 0 times 10 to give us a 0. Why do we get a 0 this time round? We get a 0 because any number multiplied by a 0 is a 0. So when someone tells you to multiply yourself by a 0, it means that that person is telling you almost to disappear. So when you multiply any number, however big it may be, by a 0, you get a 0. So who can tell us how to get the value of 4? Value of 4, want someone here? Jordan, enable your microphone so that you can be in position to speak.
4 times 100.
Good. 4 times 100. And this is how we can get it. So we say 4 times 100, we get 4,000. And so 3, we multiply 3 by its place value, which is 1,000, and we get 3,000. That is with values. Anyone with a question about values and place values? And so here, when we are getting the value of 0, you multiply 0 by 10 by its place value, which is 10, you get 0. The one of 4, we say 4 times 100. You also get its place value, which is 100. You multiply it by the digit, which is 4. You get 400 as the value. To get the value of 3, we multiply 3 by its place value, which is 1,000, and we get 3,000, and that's the value of 3. So we shall do this activity. I'll put it there in the group. I'm going to share the work in the group, and you'll be in position to do something with it. So right now we are going to look at how to write whole numbers in words. And this is very simple. I wanted us to cover all this in this session here. And I hope everyone will be in position to do it. I want us that in our next engagement, each one of us will be in position to read those big numbers that we failed to read in the other part we were having of values and place values. So I'm going to give you just very few. I'm going to give you the hints of how to write big numbers in words. One thing we do when we are writing whole numbers in words, we group them in 3 threes, but we count from the right hand. So whenever you count 3 digits, you make that group. You also count other 3 digits, you make that group. Let us see how we can do it. Let us see the example here. We are saying write 4, 5, 6, 2, 6 in words. So what do we do in this time round? Still go back and draw the place value table. It is very important in all this topic we are covering. You draw the place value table well. So when you draw the place value table, you fill in the place values, you fill in the digits. So when you fill in the digits, now you count from your right hand, that is from ones. Whenever you count 3 digits, you make that one a group. And these groups here start from, the first group is units, the next group is thousands. After 1,000, we can go to another group, that is millions. But when you move to another group, after counting 3 digits, and you remain with other digits, that means they have been pushed to another group. So when you look at this number here, we have 5 digits. So what we do, we count from our right, we count 3 digits. So you count 1, 2, 3, and the 3 digits will end at hundreds. So after identifying that the 3 digits end at hundreds, that one becomes the first group that is called the units. That one becomes a group that is called the units. So you go and check, do I still have other digits? So you will come here. You'll come here and check another number here. So after checking this other number here, checking the other digit, you realize that we still have other digits. So the next group will be thousands. And so on, as long as you still have other numbers here. So after doing this, what helps you to write? You read all the digits under a given group together and add the group name on it. Let us see how it will appear. Oh, sorry, there is a mistake here where we have a 6 and I put 1,000. Let me first put it right here. Raise a 4, sorry for that. So when you're writing here, you find that according to the groups you've made, if you make the groups, now you read those digits in that group, you add on the group name. You read the digits in that group, you add on the group name. And I want us to note something very important. So when you're reading them, the groups from thousands, those ones you write them there. But when you reach million, when you reach the units, let us see what happens. If we have the word units for a group name, what do we do? So here, when we are writing this number in words, we shall read all these numbers together. So we shall say 45,000, yes? Because the group is 1,000, so we shall say 45,000. This time round, don't add on this S when you're writing in words. So it will be 45,000, comma. Then when you move to the another group, because now this group is done, you're going to another group. You read those digits together. We have 626. So when you have that 626, don't again come and put there the word units. That one, you leave it out. That's how easy we can write big numbers in words. So let us see another example here. If we have write 3007 in words, you come and draw the place value table. So you group them. You count the first 3 digits from your right, the first group will be units. You count if there are other digits, so from units you go to thousands. And I hope for our level, we are going to look at only thousands and the group. And we shall move on, we shall add on as we move to prime. So when you reach thousands, now, and there are no any other digits to group. So you will read the group name. You read the group name and its digit. A digit plus the group name, a digit plus the group name. So here you find that under thousands, we have only one digit, which is a 3. So we shall say 3,000. So here we ignore the S. Put a comma because you have finished that group. What separates the groups is the commas when we are writing. So you move to the next group, we have the units. So what do we do with the units? Under hundreds, we have a 0. Under tens, we have a 0, but we have 7. So you just come and write 7 without any other word. So you say it will be 3,000. So it will be 3,007. That's how it will be. And I hope every one of us will be in position to write big numbers. Let me see, we can also have another example here. These are 6 digits. Write 8000712, also in words. Still come back and draw the place value table. So after drawing the place value table, you group the digits. You count 3 digits from your right. Those are units. And you count the other digits. You also put them in the next group, which is thousands. So I want someone from our group here to tell me how we can write this one now in words. Someone who is ready to read for us that number in words? Someone who is ready, let me check in our group. Yes, Esther.
We start from 100. So
Yes.
then we write 80,712.
Okay, thank you. Now let us see. Let us see the meaning of these zeros here. The zeros after these numbers, that is 1 to 9, are very important. If you're given 800 as the money for taking to school, how much money have they given you? Let me hear from someone. If they give you only this first number here, 800, as the money they've given you to take at school, which money is that? How much is that? Anne, can you share with me?
800.
Good. That is 800. So the zeros after the digits from 1 to 9, they are very important. We need to consider them. But the zeros before those digits are not important. That's why in our example here, the zeros before 7, we could not read them, we could not write them again, yes? But these zeros after this 8 are very important. So we shall read this one as 800. So now we've finished electrifying that. Who can read it again in one? Who can read the whole of it now? Stacy, can you read it for us? Stacy, can you read? Stacy, are you there? Nasha, can you try out that? Nasha?
Yes,
Can you try out that?
I'm trying to first say
Okay, try to read. We said you read.
8,000 712.
Okay, you're fairly tried. So we have these zeros here, and we've said that all the digits under thousands, we have 8. Zero, and we've said that 100,712. And this is how we can write it in words. That's how we can write it in words. We say 800,000 because the digits, we check all the digits and we see whether we can read the whole of it. You can even remove these digits and write them aside. You write 800. How can I read such a number? You also can, after reading it, you say, okay, now which group does this number belong to? After realizing that is under thousands, so you will say, okay, I've read it as 800 plus its group, so it becomes 800,000. So you move to the next group, you say units. What do I have under units? I have 7, 1, and 2. How can I read such a number? I can read it as 712. After reading it like that, so you say, which group does it belong to? Units, okay. So I don't need to mind and writing it there. So I will write my number as 800,712. So we are going to try an activity. I'm going to share these slides in the group, and I hope each one of us will be in position to try out to write these numbers here. And I'll be glad receiving the feedback from my email account. Unless someone has a question, we can share. Anyone with a question about today's work? Nasha, do you have a question? Esther, yes, please, can you ask? Your hand is up.
Teacher, we send the activity to you.
Yeah, you, mommy or anyone at home, daddy will help you send the response to my email account. I'm going to share my email. I'm going to share it on, I'm going to send my email in the group, in our P4 group.
Yes.
So you will send the feedback on that mail.
The group.
Yes.
Okay.
You email the feedback. Yeah. Okay. Any other person with a question about the work? Otherwise, thank you for attending. It has been a good session. Thank you so much for listening, being active, and participating. I wish you a nice day.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
What is the deadline of the work? May God bless you too.
Amen. Bye-bye. You
Activity.
Teacher.
No, this is the word active, not activity, not here. There's the
Bye,
here where
teacher.
are we going to?
Bye-bye. Remember to visit the group and check our work so that you can respond to it. Let me put it there right now.
What
Okay.
is the deadline of the work?
Yes, please.
What is the deadline of the work?
I think to them. How do you see?
Send it on this page.
It's not that much. I think at the end of the day, you'll be sending me that work
Bring the money.
on my mail account.
Okay, teacher.
Yes.